This is Slasher, the MLG Spring Championships at Anaheim. I'm here with Tyler Wasilewski, who defeated Huang Sin in the second round to move to MLG day number 2. This is the first event for Tyler in 1 year since competing at the WCS North American Championships last year at MLG. Tyler, how has it been to play in this difficult tournament after 1 year of not being there?
I think it's actually easier because I've changed my mindset. With all that time off, I've kind of changed the way I think about the game. And now I'm playing more for myself and not for like other people's approval, you know what I mean? So I win a match and that feels good for me, and I don't really care what other people think. But you know, it's just been, it's like going home, man. But except I'm doing it the right way this time.
Do you think you cared too much before about what people think? Did this have to do with a lot about representing Liquid and that team?
That was part of it, and I think you know, going teamless for a while, and when I did that, I stated it was for, you know, to try to change my mindset. That's definitely part of it. It's just trying to get the pressure off my shoulders and be playing for the right reasons, which I think you have to play for yourself. You have to play to get better. You can't play, you know, to make other people happy. That's not going to ever sustain you. So I think I've finally gotten that right. My practice has been going well, so the time was ripe for me to come back and do another LAN, and it's been going so far, going well so far.
I mean, still though, taking a year off of competitive play on LAN, it's hard to get back in the groove, especially to get your mechanics up to what it used to be. Based upon your matches today, how do you feel about your how you're playing right now?
It was a little bit rough. I could play a little bit better. You know, at home in practice, I was definitely playing better, but I think I can bring out my best. I've done it before in LAN and Brood War, and I know I have it in me to do it again. And so I think when the pressure is really on and I face one of these better opponents that I have coming up, I have like complete faith that it's going to bring out my best play and not make me nervous and break down.
Speaking of those opponents, you most likely are going to be playing Sase tomorrow in the third round. Do you feel like this might be the opportunity to really show that you are back and ready to here now to compete again in StarCraft?
Yeah, I think beating Huang Sin in round 2 is definitely a statement match. Not a huge statement compared to some of the names that are here, but for me personally it was. And every round after that is just going to be another opportunity to show people you know, what I've been able to do with my time off and with my changed mindset. Beating Sase in a PvP, which he's really good at, that would be huge. And I think after that I'm most likely going to play Sage, and then after that probably Hero. So it's probably 5 rounds of PvP of a lot of really good players, and it's just going to be opportunity after opportunity for me to prove to myself what I'm capable of.
Now, you talk about that mindset and changing it. There was a lot of talk about you being depressed in previous years and having this burden of playing, and that comes from a long time playing Brood War and that same mentality. What has changed now that's different than before? How much of it has to do with you leaving Liquid?
Really what's changed is just some conscious efforts to change my mindset. Like I was saying before, you got to do it for internal reasons, not external reasons. I think you got to be able to sit down and practice, and you know, if you lose, you got to say, well, that was an opportunity to learn. If you win, you got to say, it feels good to be playing well, now let's get better, that kind of thing. But before, you know, I was always thinking about what are people going to think about how I just played that game. You know, if I'm streaming my practice or whatever, I always feel like people are judging me. And to be thinking about that, that's no way to play StarCraft. You need 100% focus. You need a healthy mindset. I think getting off Liquid, you know, Liquid, they did everything they could to make me comfortable. They understood the problems I was having, and they did everything they could to try to help me get through them. But ultimately, I think I just needed to actually like take that action of leaving the team for a little while. And you know, it's an open door. They've been great. Open door for me to go back whenever I want. But I'm trying to really like get myself established again to the point where I feel like I can be, you know, one of those Liquid players like TLO or Snoot that is going to go out there and get results for the team.
So a North American player just like yourself, in Idra, who's gone over to Korea for Brood War, Zestru U2. After being released from EG, he decided to retire and now do commentary and analysis, among other things. Do you see yourself going down that road at all, or do you continue to compete for a good while longer?
I'm going to continue to compete until I train the way that I think is best. And if I train well and I have the right mindset and I don't get the results that I need to really be a top player, that's when I'll start thinking about doing other things. But all of these years of StarCraft 2, I've never gotten back to what I was in Brood War, and it's just been all in my head, I think. And once I can like put in maybe 6 to 12 months of good, healthy training and see what that gets me results-wise, that's when I'll be equipped to make that decision.
Lastly, this is MLG's kind of return to the old StarCraft 2 tournament format and bracket and the way they set things up here. What are your overall impressions of this return to form?
I like it. I love the open bracket. You know, even there were a lot of naysayers when the player list came out saying it was kind of weak. And maybe it is weak compared to the extraordinary player list that they've had in the past, but it's still pretty damn strong because I'm seeing a lot of sick matches in round 2, and so you know you get right into the nitty gritty like right away. It's not a lot of beating noobs just to like make your way to the end of the bracket. So it's a legit competition through and through, and it gives opportunities for upsets, which people love, and I think, with the ratio we have here of North Americans to Europeans and Koreans, it's really giving the North Americans a chance to make some deep runs. When before there was just so many of the best Koreans and Europeans coming over to North America for every tournament we had that we all kind of got snuffed out. And I think when you kind of lessen the pressure a little bit just by lowering the number of foreigners that come in, I think it'll give us a chance to get some good results and get some confidence going in our whole scene.
Well, thank you for the interview, Tyler, and congrats in the next round of MLG Anaheim.
Thank you.
Stay tuned to GameSpot.com/esports for coverage all weekend long.